I mean, it's still exciting. First time, second time, third time. Getting to wear the maple leaf at the highest level of sport is such an honor. And I can't believe I'm getting to do this for the third time. I think going in as a third-time Olympian, I have a lot more experience that I get to draw on. The first time around, you're very like wide-eyed, bushy-tailed kind of thing, and like the world is your oyster. And that's like for better and for worse. Going into the games the third time, it's like I know what to expect. I know when I can like step back and zoom out and enjoy the experience and soak in what it is to be at the Olympics and to represent Canada at the Olympics. But I also know how to zoom in and be like, okay, it's time to perform, and I'm really excited to compete at the highest level. Yeah, I think pressure, I mean, in sport, we talk about pressure being a privilege, and it's also a perspective. I have a lot of people that have invested into my journey to make it possible to be at the Olympic Games. And I can look at that as pressure, but I can also look at it as community and support. And I'm so thankful in terms of things that like help keep me grounded. Everything from like, I'm a Christian on daily devotion. So like, I like to sit down with like a cup of coffee in the morning and read my Bible and journal and or paint, and those kinds of things and practices keep me grounded, to like the little things I do literally at the bobsled line, where it's like 30 seconds before I go and I close my eyes and I just think about what I can feel. And I think about like where my feet are at, and I think about where like I can feel my tongue on my mouth guard and things like that, and what I can hear. And it's like both those daily habits, but also like those small little pieces that keep me grounded, and help me deliver when the pressure's on. I mean, it's interesting. Bobsled is a very intense sport. It's like, how fast can you push something heavy? So you're going all out, and then you jump in and you try and quiet yourself as a pilot and you calm yourself. And it's, can I flow with the track? Can I like dance and let the track lead? And it's like, I'm adding, you know, the twirls or the twists or the flair, but it really needs to be fluid. And I mean, a good run, it feels like flying. A bad run, you're saving things and it's a little panicky. But a good run, when things are smooth and connected, it feels like flying. So it's interesting, we've done like stuff with like different heart rate monitors and stuff, and what we've observed is it's like the entire time you're in a bobsled track, yeah, your heart rate is like max. And it makes sense because you're literally trying to make like really small, fine-tuned like decisions and like changes at 130, 40, 50 kilometers per hour. And so like you are in like your fight or flight, let's go mode. But it's interesting how mentally in that space, you can actually be really like chill and calculated and observe these things. And like, I am not at all, I've never been a panicky driver. Even when like I was learning how to drive a bobsled, usually people will kind of put themselves in bad situations because they're like freaking out because things are in a bad space. And whereas my kind of like natural MO was, I'm like, okay, things are going really bad, I'm gonna and reset. Middle of the track, which I think has served me well actually as a pilot. So like my driving style is less is more, versus like a lot of people when they come into the sport, they tend to overdrive and they have to learn how to drive less. So it's just how much and when. It's interesting. I have like in my very first like prayer journal, age 12, I was at a youth retreat and we were talking about like using your talents for God. And I actually wrote down on the very first page of my very first prayer journal, God, would you make that silly dream of the Olympics come true? And it was silly, not because the Olympics is silly, but because it felt so out of my reach. And at the age of 12, I was like, there's zero reason why Melissa should have that opportunity or have that ability. I grew up in a small farming community. I didn't know Olympians. I had watched it on TV, and I don't actually know where that dream of becoming an Olympian started. But I know that by age 12, it was there, but it was tainted. I already believed that I couldn't do it, which is kind of funny because now I'm like looking back and I'm like, I've lived that dream 3 times, which is wild to think. But yeah, I think maybe it was just like my love and passion for sport. And so like 1 + 1 = 2. I'm like, I love sports. Therefore, I want to compete at the highest level, which is the Olympic Games.